Welcome to the debate. If you look at your car's dashboard, right, and the speedometer is just pinned at 100, but the engine temperature is, well, it's deep in the red. You don't celebrate the speed.
Right. You pull over.
Exactly. You pull over before the whole thing catches fire. And right now, our economy is flooring it. And, the engine is smoking. Corporate profits are booming, fueled by these massive investments in AI, but the American workforce is literally drowning. So the question we have to wrestle with today is, are companies just abandoning the working class to chase AI efficiencies, or are they doing what they absolutely have to do to survive a brutal global market?
It is survival, plain and simple. Corporate executives aren't, cartoon villains twirling their mustaches.
It feels like it to a lot of people, though.
Sure. But they are making fiercely pragmatic decisions to keep their companies alive through, honestly, severe global inflation, crushing tariffs, and the harsh reality that if you don't adapt to AI, you die.
But look at the wreckage they are leaving behind. The working class is suffocating right now.
Well,
Wait, just look at the Pew Research data. 87% of Americans feel homeownership is completely out of reach. 80% saying they can barely cover basic daily expenses.
I hear that, but
And you look at Gen Z, carrying an average debt burden of over $94,000. This corporate efficiency you are talking about is actively destroying the social contract.
I get the frustration, I really do. But let us look at the actual mechanics of why leaders are doing this. Yes, the Conference Board data shows the S&P 500 had spectacular 29% earnings growth in Q1.
Right, record profits.
Record profits, but actual CEO confidence, it dropped to 47. And just to give context, on that diffusion index, a score of 50 is dead neutral. So 47 means we are in negative territory.
Okay, but leaders are terrified. They are staring down massive tariff uncertainties and supply chain collapses. The current low-hire, low-fire market isn't greed. It is a calculated defense mechanism.
A defense mechanism that only protects the top. The Business Roundtable data highlights this disconnect perfectly. Hiring plans are sitting at 51, which again is basically dead neutral on their index. But sales expectations, those have skyrocketed past the baseline to 129. Companies are intentionally pumping up output without adding a single human to the headcount.
Because they are optimizing. No, this is exactly like a ship's captain bragging about record speeds right after throwing half his crew overboard to lighten the load.
But if they don't lighten the load, the whole ship goes down.
By throwing people overboard?
By structurally adapting. The infrastructure capital expenditures for AI are massive right now because they have to be.
Right.
By automating routine cognitive tasks, companies are reducing their fixed labor costs. That gives them the exact cash buffer they need to survive unpredictable supply chain shocks and, frankly, the $29 trillion in global borrowing happening right now.
But at what human cost?
A bankrupt company employs nobody. Capital has to survive for the broader economy to function at all. It is not about throwing people overboard. It is about keeping the ship from sinking when the waters are this violently rough.
Man. But you have to ask yourself, what is the point of the ship if there is no one left to crew it? Look at the human tragedy unfolding here.
I am not denying it is hard.
We have got a 10.8% unemployment rate for 16 to 24-year-olds. We are watching the real-time rise of Gen Z disillusionomics.
Disillusionomics?
Yes. Young people are resorting to doom spending because the traditional markers of the middle class, a house, a family, stability, they are mathematically foreclosed to them.
Right.
When a whole generation just gives up on the future because the system structurally locked them out, your corporate success metrics are completely meaningless.
But those very metrics are what sustain the remaining employment infrastructure. Look, the labor market is bifurcating. The AI transition is eliminating routine work. And yes, that hurts.
It devastates people.
It does. But businesses cannot run on pure empathy when the structural foundation of global trade is shifting under their feet. If they don't optimize using AI right now, they lose their competitive edge globally.
Yeah, but...
And if that happens, the enterprise collapses and everyone loses their livelihood.
It always comes down to who takes the hit, doesn't it? For me, there is an absolute imperative here. We simply cannot leave humans behind. When capital wins and labor loses this mechanistically,
We erode the very foundation of why we have an economy in the first place.
And for me, the harsh reality is that navigating global economic disruption requires ruthless pragmatism. This transition to an AI-driven economy is a civilizational shift. Protecting the enterprise is genuinely the only way to ensure any economic stability remains in the long run.
The tension between corporate survival and human economic dignity is obviously far from resolved today. We encourage all of you listening to examine the data for yourselves.
Absolutely. There is definitely a lot more to explore as this dynamic continues to unfold.
Keep your eyes on the dashboard. Is your speed really worth the smoke?